Hey y'all, though, turn with me to Exodus 20, verse 12, if you will. Again, that Exodus 20, verse 12. I was gonna do this message last week. I was all prepared for it and everything, but this live stream I'm using right now, it wasn't working. It wasn't working last week. I know why it wasn't working now, but just it wasn't working last week. But I but think this is a lot more appropriate for the message today. And also, I was reminded last night that God can speak to you just as well when you aren't really listening to Him as opposed to when you are. Not that you're not trying to listen to Him either, but you're just not actively seeking a word from Him. It can speak to you just as easy when you're not listening for Him as when you are listening for Him. Again, that's Exodus 20, verse 12. Honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. Now, this is part of the Ten Commandments. This is the fourth command that God gives His people right out of Egypt. Command to honor Him, and commands to which honor. I didn't even mean to do that. This verse, honor your father and your mother. But commands. The problem is we make it a lot harder than it needs to be sometimes. But if we didn't do that, there'd be no real room for authenticity between us and God, I suppose. But like most verses in the Bible, it's been misconstrued ultimately by the devil, but by the people who want to obfuscate God, who want to not not that questioning God is really a bad thing, but God wants you to question, God wants you to be inquisitive. But these are the kind of people who act questioned in bad faith. The kind of people who actually like, oh, why does who see contradictions basically. I'm not gonna really give an example, but who see contradictions basically is the overarching point. Who seeks to write quote a counterpoint for the Bible without really anticipating any argument for it. But this verse, honor your father and your mother, particularly this verse, has been misconstrued by the devil and misconstrued by the people on Alphagate because, well, it seemed obvious. I mean, not every, unfortunately, not everyone else is a situation. If you if you need to, unfortunately, some people more often than not have had to do that, get out of a bad parental situation. It's not saying you can't do that. It's not saying honor your father and mother in all circumstances. But we gotta remember the context here. The context, God is speaking to His people, and I'm willing to bet that boy, yes, these people had real God fearing ancestors, God fearing mothers and fathers that they'd been praying to get out of Egypt, and they eventually followed Moses out of Egypt. they must have been doing something right. So I'd imagine that went down. But you can't you can't really compare it and say, oh, this verse talking about in all circumstances just honor your father and mother in all circumstances. No, the kind mother and father, the kind godly mother and father. Now, and I use that word liberty. I use that word liberty, kind mother and father, because I see nowadays in modern culture, the devil has already bid the divide between good and evil. Already made good and evil a subjective point. But he tried to divide it even further. He needs to do that. Now it's divided between being nice and if you're not nice, you're bad, basically. But from the Christian perspective, there's a difference. I mean, even if you look at Jesus, there's a difference between being nice and kind. Now, the nice thing, the world will say, the world will say that the word of honor. The nice thing to do would be to accept people just as they are. Just accept people just as they are. Just don't call out. It's not even saying don't call out sin. It's as there's not even such thing as sin. You shouldn't call out things you don't understand. You just don't understand your desires. You just don't understand what people are going through and all that. So if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. You've all heard that before. If you don't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Well, there's a problem with that I bet some of you can see. The problem is an example I used a while ago, not on the Zap stream, but in something else I'm doing. An example I used a while ago is say you're a doctor, or say you have a doctor, and you're very much overweight. Your doctor sees it, your doctor notices it, your doctor's run all the medical tests. You're very overweight, and you need to start to using some weight, or you have at the eat a myriad of medical problems, and at the what you and at the most you just die. But the problem is also very self-conscious, very self-conscious patient, very self-conscious about the body image, and maybe the doctor even considers you a friend. Well, the nice thing to do in that situation for your friend, or indeed what the world says is nice, not really nice, but just what niceties by the world standard would be to encourage to encourage the patient, but in the absolute wrong way. To encourage him, oh, that's nothing wrong with you. It'll get better. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep eating junk food. Just keep not exercising. Keep not keeping up with your mental health and your God, your relationship with God. You can you can feel that all down the gutter. You're perfect just the way you are. You're great just the way you are. Know that Jesus was kind to people, but honored, I wouldn't say was ever nicest day in his life. Because the nice thing to do, like I say, would be to not cloud sin. And the here's the kicker too. All those people, all those people Jesus talked to, Jesus didn't seek them out and say, okay, you're doing this, and this wrong. This is what you need to change. No, they sought him out. They may not have known exactly what was wrong, but they sought him out, and they always went away changed. Not by force, not by him saying, okay, you needed. He did say stop sin for a better eye, basically. Going sin no more. But he wasn't forceful with it. He didn't say do this or else. Now ultimately there's gonna be an oil for the for every for every person on this earth we know, but it was still their choice whether to listen to his kindness or not. What what would be nice but totally unkind is for me as pastor to say, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. We're just going the same destination. I mean, which by the way, if we're all going to the same destination, why is there so many different pathways to get there? Why is there so many different regions? Why is there so many? If we're all going the same place, I mean, why did there need to be Buddhism and Hinduism and Christianity and Judaism and everything else under the sun that I'm not thinking of? The truth is, that's all just a distraction and that's all just an obfuscation. Did you know that the devil doesn't care if you're nice? The devil doesn't care if you're nice one iota, as long as you're not kind. Because moment, yeah, Jesus probably did, to particularly the Pharisees, but ultimately they did need to hear, and we needed to hear through His Word, and that God attacked us with. Yeah, the young man, happy Thanksgiving. I love you, and I'll see you when I see you.